Now this is the another tutorial for Blender. I'm using the latest version of Blender. Now this is our second lesson. We are still looking at how to use the layout. Today I want to talk about how to use the display, the viewport display. So these options here, we want to just have a look at them. So as you know, when you open Blender, you have this this is what you get. Now when you, let's say you see this is a cube, this is a camera, and this is a light. Now let's say you are doing something, then you just want to eliminate some of the things. When you come here, you can always take some of the things away. In case, for example, you don't want to see your lights, you can just press here and the light goes away. So that if in case you are working, I mean, we are beginners, but with time, when you start doing so many things and you have so much there that it's disturbing, you can just come here and remove some of the things. Like, you know that a cube comes from a mesh, because when you do add mesh, you can come for a cube here and draw a cube. So in the same light, you can also remove the cube. If you want to see it, you can see it. Now the next thing is this one here. This shows the gizmos. What are gizmos? This, for example, this is a gizmo. If you've watched my first video, you will know that if you want to move, let's say we are here and we want to move something, we go to move. You see, these things are the gizmos. This is a gizmo. If I go to rotate, we get a rotation gizmo. So now this controls the gizmo. So if you don't want any gizmo, you press this and everything is gone. If you want, you press back and they show up. Now you can also come here and then choose which gizmos. If you see that if I press this, all the gizmos go away. But in case you don't want some, but you want to maintain some, you can come here and then choose whatever you don't want. Like, it's remove the gizmo here, that's the navigation gizmo. You can put it back again. Now the next thing is the show overlays. So if I press this, it takes away all the gray, the background, anything that maybe might be in that is disturbing someone. You can also come here and then you can do some other things here, like if in case I come here, I can remove the floor of the grade. If I don't want it, I can put it back. As you saw last time, you can also, if you see here, we have the x coordinates, which is red, and the y coordinates, that is green. But if you think of it, if you don't have the z coordinates, you can either activate it by coming here. You can also remove it again. You can play around with everything here. For example, you can, if you don't want the 3D cursor, you see, if I press it, it removes it, the 3D cursor. You can just play around here, selecting things and then seeing what it does. Okay, now the next thing is for you to toggle. Let me go here so that we don't have any gizmo disturbing us. Now we have the toggle X-ray. And now this, if you are in this, if you choose this, normally you see that it gives you some outline here. Normally this is used with, if you want to, let's see here, if you come here, these are the displays that you will get, the viewports. Now if I come here, you see that I have the wireframe. So if I click it, if I come and click it, you see that I have a wireframe here. But in case if I don't want to see the back of it, I can disable the X-ray so that I have only the front part. If I put the X-ray, normally works in combination with the wireframe. in case you want to select something, you want to select, for example, I want to select this, the one which is back, and as well the one in front. It's good to put it in case you don't want any disturbance and you want to work with only the one that is in front. Then you can also enable this one here. Now let's see here, the next viewport is solid. So in case you want to see your thing in solid form but not a frame, you can use that. Normally when you open in Blender, it's in the solid state, but you can change the mode, the display mode. So this display mode is a solid. Now another display mode is the material preview. So these are just previews for you, for it to help you to see what you will be getting. So when you are in the preview, let's say here that's not we come to the material properties here. Normally when in the preview of the material property, you can give something a color. For example, let's say we change this color here to give it something like yellow. Now you see that you can see the property of the material here. If I come here, I do still the color doesn't show. It's only when I'm here or when I go to also preview the preview of the rendering. So the viewport, the display render preview. If I come here, this is how, if I should render this, I can that's what I can have. Now one thing I should tell you is that when you are, for example, in this, all these things, you can also come here and adjust things here. So for example, with all these display modes, for example, when I'm in the wireframe mode, I can come here. Now we have single and theme. I can also choose object. I can choose random. I can, and then the background, you see the background here, I can also adjust it by either the theme, which was gray, or world, which we can see. If I come to world property, you see that I have this background at this color here. The same way, when you go to solid or you go to material preview, you can also adjust these things here. So for example, I am in material preview. I can also come here, and if I press this, I would want to use whatever light I want to see in this. So I can either choose this this one, or I can choose this very one, or I can choose the effects of the light that will affect what I am want to see. Okay, so it is the same thing when you are here as well. You can change and then choose whatever you want. So this is basically how you can use these options here. Now last time I might have forgotten to tell you, of course, if you want to zoom in, if you go to control, you can zoom in with your middle mouse button, or zoom out with your middle mouse button. You can also use this zoom in and out. When you press this, it will help you to do the same thing. You can move in and out. If you use this thing here, move view, if you press it, you can move the view up and down like this as well. And when you see this camera here, I'll be doing a video on cameras generally, but if you press this one to, normally if you see here, we have a camera, and normally when you are rendering, when you are in these views like previews, the camera is not really important. You don't really think of it. But when you are really going to render something, you want to place the camera such that you can see what you are rendering, because the camera is more or less like our eye. Or in the real world, if you're looking through a camera, you want to point it to the object that you want to see. Okay, so the position of the camera is important though. But now if you press here, it will tell you how it will render, how the camera sees it. So this is how it will tell you. The camera sees what you have in your this is how you will get it when you render it. You can go back like this. Now somebody will say that is the camera always here? No, the camera, you can move it around, but the problem is that when you move your camera around, sometimes you can move it around in such a way that now you might not be able to see. Let's see here. I don't know whether this will make it. You see, now we have our objects here, and when it is rendered, our object is not in the camera because I did not focus it well. But then you ask, do I have to be moving around here and there to be able to do that? Luckily, Blender has a simple way of doing it. First you just choose where you want to see your what you want to see. So maybe in case I want to see the place that you want to see, so I know that I want to see this and this. This is what, as I sit in the behind my computer, I want to see at least these things here. So what I see now, I can now go to view, and then I go to view, align view, and I go to align active camera to view. So now the camera, I'm telling Blender that please, what I'm seeing now is what I want the camera to see. So when I do this now, the camera will adjust itself and it will see exactly what, as I sit behind my computer, I can see. So I will not do more minutes now. I think this is sufficient for today, and please come again because I want to explain or explain some of the things. I'll be doing series. I'm doing series of explaining these what we have in Blender in general when you open it, before we start doing any rendering or drawing or anything like that. Thank you for coming. If this video helped you in any way, please help me as well by subscribing to my channel, and please give me a like if it's helped you in any way. Thank you for coming. Bye.